read it right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barak Ta Yahweh, Barak Ta Yahweh Shai, Kol Holoim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Machak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who were well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Rat is our Lord, willing that the lesson is edifying. Shawab One back at you with another lesson. And going into the title. All right. It's all collapsing. Fasten your seatbelt. Right. And you know, I'm about to play two, three videos. All right. Basically more updates. All right, on what's going on here in Babylon the Great. All right. And it's funny because these Edomites know exactly what time it is, but here it is. Our people are stuck in La La Land. You see, everybody out here is preparing, all right, for the fall, but our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are completely lost, have no clue what's about to happen. I mean, there's some that are awake, all right, some that have a sense of direction to things, all right, but Esau has so much shit to distract you with that they just continually keep falling into snares and nets, you know, different distractions to get their mind off of what's going on, you see. And again, all these nations, all right, especially Esau, Edom here in Babylon the Great, they see the fall of their kingdom coming, all right, but our people, all right, don't want to see the fall of our enemy. All right, they want to see they want to see this place continue on. They want to see, all right, this place, you know, flourish. You know, they want this place to come out with a new way to flourish. That shit is wild. You see, there ain't nothing here in Babylon the Great that I sit here and I think about and I'll be like, yeah, you know, I can't wait till, you know, they do better. You know, I can't wait till Babylon heals. You know, the scriptures say they would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, man. She can't be healed. All right, she's at her wit's end. Okay, the whore, the Babylonian whore, right, is completely used up. She can no longer give it up no more. All right, so let me play this quick video, and I'm gonna play a couple. Then I'll pull out some scriptures.
America, make no mistake, this country is about to go through a living hell. We're going to have World War III, draft open in America. Our sons and daughters, nieces, nephews, cousins, aunts be going off to war, fighting for the pedophiles at the top. And we're going to have an American Revolution on top of it. It's going to be like the American people are fighting a three-sided war.
And that's heavy what he said, man. We about to go out there and get drafted to war, right? Our people are about to be drafted for war to go fight and stand up for some pedophiles, but they won't stand up against the workers of iniquity or the evildoers. They won't stand up stiffly for the name of the Lord, but they're damn sure gonna make themselves stand up for this country. Okay, so they're gonna fight off for these pedos out there, right? And they're gonna end up perishing out there. Okay. Not only that, he said, let me go back.
Draft open in America. Our sons and daughters, nieces, nephews, cousins, aunts be going off to war, fighting for the pedophiles at the top. And we're going to have an American Revolution on top of it.
And we're going to have American Revolution, Civil War. You see? The scriptures are faithful and true, man. Let's grab that real quick. This is Second Ezra. Let me get there. Second Ezra 15:1, and it reads, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." Right? And the Lord said, okay, that not a jot or tittle and no wise shall pass from the law until all be fulfilled, man. The end was declared from the beginning. All right. So it's going to happen whether you like it or not. There's no, it's gonna come years from now. There's no, we're not gonna see it in our lifetime. All right. The day of doom is in our time. Let's grab that real quick. This is 2nd Ezra 7:43, and it reads, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time and the beginning of immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, and temperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and the truth is sprung up. So the day of doom shall be at the end of this time that we're living in right now as we speak. Okay? It ain't many days to come. It ain't many years to come, many decades to come. That's not in our generation. No, it's in this time that we're living in right now. Okay? Let's go back. I knew that shit was going to do that shit.
America, make no mistake. That's right. The American people are going to be looking at starvation with the drought across the United States, the wildfires and the flooding. The crops in the United States have not fared well.
Yeah. And that's all biblical prophecy. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with a plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. You see? So they that till the ground shall mourn. It's talking about these farmers, man. And these farmers been talking about it for a couple years now, according to their outlets, that it wasn't going to be good for them. It wasn't looking good for them in the next coming years, man. You see? And right now, with all this weather manipulation, right, with all this, shit going on over there in Iran through the Strait of Mandeb and the Strait of Hormuz, right, being blocked off, where we're not getting, the urea's fertilizer in our hands the way we're supposed to. How the hell are we supposed to grow crops? You see, how are we supposed to continually survive, man? See, this is why we keep telling you there's a secret famine being conjured up right now without these people knowing. And it's going to smack them so hard when they realize that they go from one day to another into a store and there's not going to be anything to be found in there. Shelves are going to be completely wiped off, man. Right? 2nd Ezra 6:22, and it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. You see? Yeah. Every place that you thought had some type of product for you, yeah, you're not going to be able to find it, man. Those full storehouses that were once loaded with the things you needed, you're not going to find them no more. They're going to be looted. When all hell breaks loose, these people going to loot these stores, destroy these stores. The stores are not going to be rebuilt. They're not going to reorder product. Nah, man. Once that store is looted, that's it. That store is done. And because our people are fucking animals, all right, these people ain't going to be smart. They're going to try to be in that spirit of, I got to get mines by all means necessary. So, it's going to be that much easier, all right, for them to pretty much destroy these storehouses that were once full, not being able to have anything. Okay, let's go back to that video. Man, why does it have to start from the beginning every single time? Now I gotta look for the video too. Give me 1 second. So annoying. It's not that one. That is so annoying. Give me 1 second. Hold on.
This revolution, World War III, and starvation. That's right. The American people are going to be looking at starvation. With the drought across the United States, the wildfires, and the flooding, the crops in the United States have not fared well.
And another thing is that's why there's going to be hyperinflation here so heavy. You know, that's what's going to also cause most of these people to perish out here. You know, as the scriptures say, many shall perish of famine, you know, because, all right, they're not going to be able to afford food. They're not going to be able to, you know, find crops. They're not going to be able to find life shelf products, man. Okay, as a matter of fact, Salaki, I know I should never stop, but let me go to 2nd Ezra's 16 and take it from let's take it from 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, right? But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Yeah, because at one point it's going to be low. Because once the stores realize that ain't nobody got money to buy shit, it's going to make the cost of these things that are left in the stores to go down to a very low price. Victuals go into your food, right? But victuals can also go into your necessities. So it's going to make everything that has a high value come down to be affordable, right? But then right after that, okay, they're pretty much going to loot the stores. Okay. Again, it says, for victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the others that escape shall the sword destroy. All right, so many will perish of famine out here. All right, 2/3 of our people are going to die in the land, as the scriptures tell you in Zechariah 13 and 8. They shall be cut off and die in the land, which is here in Babylon the Great. All right, but 2/3 of those people going to be given to different deaths. 1/3 is going to be given to the famine, right? 1/3 is going to be given to the sword, all right, which is the martial law, you know, pretty much fighting against each other, you see. And then 1/3 is going to be given up to taking the MOTB and then taking missiles straight to the face, you see. But many shall perish of famine. That's part of the great miseries of those that walked in great pride in those latter times. All right, that's what they're going to receive, man. To die of starvation is fucking horrific, man. Scriptures say it's better to die by the sword than to die with hunger, man. Okay? And then it talks about how the pitiful women have sodden their own children, and they were their meat in the destruction. Yeah, people going to have to resort to cannibalism. They're going to have to resort to eating their pets. You know, they're going to have to start hallucinating, and when they see a tree, that shit going to look like a chicken wing to their ass. You see? You're going to see somebody just biting on a tree thinking that shit is food. Okay? This is why you got to know your dietary laws. This is why you got to be in tune with the word of the Lord, because some of us, when we're in the wilderness, we might have to eat, you know, wild honey. We're going to have to eat locusts, grasshoppers, and shit like that. You know? Some of us. Not all of us, because the Lord gonna provide for us, most of us anyway. All right, but some of us might be put in a position to test it of your faith where you might have to eat, you know, some locusts from the floor, some damn, you know, grasshopper passing right by, a little cricket or some shit, you know, beetles, right? Because there's a lack of food. Okay, so let's go back, right? It's gonna do. I knew it's gonna do the same shit.
As looking and the flooding, the crops in the United States have not fared well, and we will be suffering in 2027, scrounging for food to eat. Walmart sales are down 8% over the last 3 months. This tells you how financially strapped the American people are. For Walmart, the cheapest store in the country, to be down 8% over a 3-month period, a financial hell is coming to the United States.
And I also think that's because a lot of people have been realizing that the food that comes out of Walmart is just complete trash, man. All that food that comes out of there is like that shit that's coming from, is definitely 3D printed meat, lab grown meat, They're out there giving you all these GMOs, all of that, man. That's the worst kind of place you can actually shop in is Walmart. You go to Walmart for particular things, certain things, but I usually will go to like my local farmer's market, right? Get all my fruits and vegetables. You go to ShopRite. That's another spot around my way. ShopRite has got pretty good meats, but even the meat, we got to be careful. They're poisoning the shit out of your meat. They're putting all types of chips in people's meat, graphene oxide in people's meat. They put in nanotechnology in your meat. They're doing all types of shit to your meat right now, man. Right? And, this is why they're also down in sales, like I said, because people have been realizing that the food is trash in there. But it's also because the majority of these Americans can't buy and afford the food.
Across the United States, the wildfires and the flooding, the crops in the United States have not fared well. And we will be suffering in 2027, scrounging for food to eat. Walmart sales are down 8% over the last 3 months. This tells you how financially strapped the American people are. For Walmart, the cheapest store in the country, to be down 8% over a 3-month period, a financial hell is coming to the United States. And don't kid yourself, when your neighbor comes knocking at your door, you're going to have to ask yourself, do I have enough to keep my family fed, or am I going to help my neighbor? That's going to be a very hard question.
Yeah, and it ain't gonna be some nice shit when neighbors come to your house, man. The scriptures say otherwise, right? Scriptures say that a man, right, shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Let's grab that. This is 2nd Ezra's, right? 2nd Ezra's 15. Let's take it from 17. Salakia, from 18. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? So because there's no food, people gonna rob you, man. People gonna knock on people's doors and have no pity, no shame, man. It's gonna be survival of the fittest, every man for themselves out here, right? For great tribulation that's come upon this earth. Okay, they're gonna spoil your goods. What you have in the cut, hiding, it's gonna be snatched from you. It's gonna be taken. It's gonna be robbed. Okay, and they're gonna destroy their houses with the sword. People gonna run up in there with guns, weapons. You see? Again, the scriptures are faithful and true, man. Everything that's being read by us on a daily basis is what's happening in front of your face, man, as a sign, as a testimony of Yahweh's word, right? Let's go back. Damn, man. Really, I hate when he does that.
But this is the grim reality that all Americans will soon be looking at, because it's not getting any better.
And that's why the scriptures say the prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hideth himself, man. You hide yourself in these scriptures, man. That's the only way you're going to be able to make it out of here is by the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You have to hide yourself, man. The Lord said, King David said, hide me, O Yahweh, from the secret counsel of the wicked. Right? The Lord said, disappoint him and disappoint the wicked, which is thy sword, man. He said, keep me away from the wicked, man, because the wicked is putting us in snares and nets. So this is why, you know, you have the Lord's Prayer, man. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. You see, we gotta be delivered from evil on a daily basis, man. This is why we gotta constantly pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man, that He have mercy upon us, right?
Reality for you to face. But this is the grim reality that all Americans will soon be looking at, because it's not getting any better. It's only going to get worse. And if you live in a big city and you have the means to get out of that city and get out into the country, get out.
And it don't matter where you try to flee from, you're not going to be able to escape the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You just can't. Yeah, I mean, will it be better in certain areas than here, than what's going to happen here in Babylon the Great? Yeah, but it's still going to be the judgment of the Lord, man. Right? This is going to be a worldwide thing. Our people are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So these things are going to happen globally, all around the world. You see? Shalom, Sister Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Brakatah.
And like I said before, if you have the means to leave the United States, leave. The United States is going to be the most dangerous country in the world to live in.
Why? Because we're coming into perilous times, dangerous times.
Why? Because everybody is armed. And everybody will be killing each other for canned goods and macaroni and cheese. People will be killing their neighbor.
Yeah, because of iniquity abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You see? People not going to care about who the hell's your neighbor. Your best friends is going to turn against you. Your own family going to turn against you, man. When people get hungry, when people are thirsting, morals are thrown out the window. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Simple as that.
For food. People will be shooting each other. America, make no mistake. This country.
All right, so that's one video. It's about to get real out here, man. This is another one by the same guy.
What I'm going to say is going to piss a lot of Americans off, but I'm going to tell you the truth. America, militarily, is dead in the water. It has nowhere near the capabilities of the BRICS nations, thanks to China's innovative creations over the past 30 years in weaponry and technology.
And this is, and we've been telling you this shit for years, man, because the fact that America still thinks that they're this powerhouse, that they're able to conquer all these countries is this, that's that madness that the Lord put on Esau, man. That's the pridefulness of his heart that has deceived him. You see, like he just said, America cannot go against the BRICS nation. They're too powerful, man. Russia, China, India, Brazil. You see, that's all the BRICS nation, man. All of them combined together are huge ass pieces of land on the continents, man. You see, there is no way that America can destroy any of those countries, and they're all supporting each other. They're all backing each other up. And that goes to show you that it's all prophecy, all right, that the scriptures, as it tells you, all right, the beast shall hate the whore, man. All right, as a matter of fact, let's grab a couple precepts, right? This is Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and they shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Why? Because the Lord has put it, all right, in their will to do that shit. Okay, the Lord has put it in his. It's let's grab that part right there. All right, this is Salakia. I just exited out. Back to Revelations 17, right? And 17, and it read, for Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree. Yeah, see, they're all agreeing with each other, conspiring together against Babylon the Great, right? And give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Okay, so it's his will, his plan that is being put in the minds of these other nations, right? Scriptures say that the king's heart, right? Let's grab that. This is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. You see? NLT, the king's heart is like a stream of water directed by the Lord Yahweh. He guides it wherever he pleases. You see? So it's his will that's being fulfilled. It's the will of prophecy being fulfilled. Okay? Jeremiah 51:7. And it reads, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Yeah, all the nations are mad because they done fell into the philosophy of Babylon the Great. They done sucked on the breast of the whore. You see? And now they're pissed off, all right, because now they're acting exactly how Esau would act like, man, acting like Babylon will act like. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, everyone into it, Salakia. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord Yahweh has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord Yahweh, our power. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, all right, which that goes into Russia, okay? For his device is against Babylon, that missiles, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple, you see? So that's the end game. That's going to be the main one that's going to destroy America is Russia. Gog and Magog, as the scriptures tell you in Ezekiel, all right, the 35th, the 38th chapter, right? This is Jeremiah 50:23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Yeah, because this is the future prophecy of Babylon the Great. And right now they're being made weak like the other nations were once weak, right? According to Isaiah the 14th chapter, right? How have you become weak? Are you as weak as we are, right? Let's grab that real quick. This is Isaiah, all right, 14 and 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? You see? And why were they brought down to the ground? Why are they eventually going to be brought down to the ground? Because they have said, all right, that I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregations in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yeah, this devil's trying to be, all right, in that God complex, be better than the Lord, man. You see? So that's why they're going to be brought down. That's why that whole hammer, all right, they're the hammer of the earth. They're going to be cut and asunder and broken. Okay? Going back to 50 and 24, it says, I have laid a snare for thee, Thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh has opened his armory and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation, which is these missiles eventually. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, power of the host in the land of the Chaldeans, you see? So America's just going to get a straight ass whooping when that time comes. An incredible ass whooping, you see? A forever ass whooping. Okay, an ass whooping that's gonna bring you down to your knees and you'll never get back up again, let alone drop down to your knees, man. You're gonna drop down to your face, you see, never gonna be able to recover, because then you're gonna go straight into captivity and then you're gonna be demolished off the planet Earth, you see. So let's finish what he got.
We all know for the past 25 years, America has made nothing since the stealth machinery in its arsenal. China has direct EMP weapons. They've already used them.
See, you have to understand, when these niggas done drop the atomic bomb on Hiroshima, right? Nagasaki, from that day on is when all these nations around the world have prepared themselves for a day like this. You see? Once they saw that they had that power, right, as the scriptures tell you in Revelations, the 13th chapter, they had power to send fire from the heavens, right? Once they seen that they were able to have that capability, all these other nations, their knowledge was increased to have that same type of capability. That's why when you go into Joel, the 3rd chapter, right, talks about, you know, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, man. Prepare every single one of them for what? For war. They've been prepared for war all these years, man, for a situation just like this. Okay? And that's why now the weak is saying, I am strong. The ones that were bullied around by America all these years, they're no longer being bullied. Now they're bullying America around. Even the smallest nations. You haven't even got to the big nations like China. You haven't got to the big nations like Russia, India. Man, you talk about, these are giant continent nations, man. Giant countries, okay? That can't wait to show, all right, their force, right?
United States forces, when they took out the destroyer, they took out a destroyer and made it, and it had to be towed back to Subic Bay. It was all on the news. And if you can't find the story, then, you know, you don't need to be looking anyway. But America cannot win a war against Iran, period, or the BRICS nation.
As a matter of fact, the Donald Trump was just talking about, let me see if I find that shit real quick.
A lot of them.
I have it somewhere in here. He was talking about how the Lincoln that's out there ain't coming back home. Ain't coming back home. Right? This part says, let me see. Yeah, trending. It says the USA Abraham Lincoln, the USS Abraham Lincoln will never come home. He can't have the sailors being interviewed. They will destroy it and use the sinking as the reason to nuke Iran. Then they'll declare martial law to keep the elections from happening for safety purposes. Mark my fucking words. If I'm wrong, I'll eat that crow, but I have a feeling I won't have to. All right. And this is someone that wrote a text, all right, that his shit is going viral, man. And it's facts. And you know why they're not gonna come home? Because even if they tried, they're pretty much already in a bad predicament. They probably got them stuck out there in a way where they can't come home. Even if they tried. It's almost like Iran got America in checkmate along with all these other nations, man. So they can't make no more moves. The wrong move is just going to send, it's going to pretty much destroy. Okay. like I said, they will destroy it and use the sinking as a reason to nuke Iran. Yeah, and that's pretty much their only way to try to get out of this, is by getting their own ships and their own military shot down to the ground, to give them the bigger reason to go out there and use a nuke on them. And when that happens, that's why Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, where the Carminians and the dragons of Arabia will come back to their like nature. They're going to be raging in wrath, as it says, and they're going to come and waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, man. You see? And then eventually all the nations are gonna waste the whole entire land. It ain't gonna be just a portion. All right, it's gonna be the whole entire land of Babylon the Great, from California to New York City. Okay, now let's go back to that.
It's a lot of Americans off, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. Iran, period, or the BRICS nations. America does not have the manpower. It does not have the military capability. It does not have the weaponry. I know a lot of Americans think, oh, America's the fattest ass country on the planet. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. 50, 60 years ago, it was the baddest MFer on the block, Jack. But since America got greedy and the politicians said that, we'll just skip making, building the military up. This lie that Donald Trump likes to say, I built the military up, I rebuilt it. Yeah, that's why America can't win a war. That's why America
they can't win a war. And that's why they're teaming up with Israel, all of that, man. And it's really because it's the Lord fulfilling his will, man. These niggas out here ain't warriors, right? Let's grab that real quick. This is Jeremiah 50, right? And let's take it from hold on. Since the brother had that up, Salaki, since I just read that up, right? This is, let me go drop down a little bit. Jeremiah 50, and let's take it from 29. It says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bendeth the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she has done. Do unto her, for she has been proud against the Lord Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall rise him up. And I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Okay, let's grab this. This is 51, and let's take it from 28. It says, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. Yeah. NLT says her mightiest warriors no longer fight. Yeah, they're not the same no more. America's not, like that guy said, 60 years ago, there was that powerhouse. They ain't that powerhouse no more. You talk about a military full of a bunch of fagonometry ass niggas, right? A bunch of transformers, right? Ran by a bunch of pedos, soft ass niggas, man, some ice cream niggas. You see? Extra soft, right? It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might has failed. You see? They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places, and her bars are broken. Yeah, they're completely, they have completely acted like they're acting like women today, man. You know, it's an army, it's a military of straight women. What do women do? Panic, cry, right? Talk hella shit, right? That's how Babylon is. That's how America is. They just talking hella shit, crying about it, you know, trying to play the victim, scared as hell, you know. All these nations have Babylon the Great in their pocket, okay?
It's going to piss a lot of Americans off, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Donald Trump is a liar, a pedophile, a child rapist, a murderer, a child murderer. Donald Trump is the worst person that has ever walked the face of the earth. And Donald Trump is holding the world hostage with his bullshit crybaby stuff.
Yo, that's the spirit, because I ain't even listened to the rest of this shit. That's the spirit. I was just saying that shit. Crybabies. That's what this is. This is what Babylon's about. Crybabies, man. Bunch of fucking cornballs, man. Corn on a cob, candy corn ass niggas, man.
Donald Trump is a liar, a pedophile, a child rapist, a murderer, a child murderer. Donald Trump is the worst person that has ever walked the face of the earth. And Donald Trump is holding the world hostage with his bullshit crybaby stuff, keeping the Strait of Hormuz closed. What's going to happen is Donald Trump is going to get America nuked. The rest of the world is tired of America, and they are going to drop nuclear weapons on the United States because they are tired of the United States.
That's right. That's right. And that's spiritual, right? Obadiah. And this is a whole, I mean, what looks and appears to be an Edomite. Never know, right? But even these Edomites are going to stand up against their own people, right? Because their own tongue is falling upon them, right? This is Obadiah 1:7. All your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. Yeah, that's what's happening right now. Okay. All them traps are being set for Babylon to fall. Okay, and there's no way around it. And that was the end of that, actually.
What happens to a bully? Eventually a bully gets his ass beat.
That's right.
And America has a huge ass whooping coming. Whether you know it or not, whether you want to say it or not. America's about to get its ass whooped. God loves you. I love you.
That should be funny as hell. Say all that good shit, and then you come out and say some God love you bullshit. Right? Let's play this last video. Where is it at? This one. Actually, you know what? I ain't even gonna play that last video because it got to do with the Yo Jabba Jabba. I could use it for something else. Because those two videos I just brought out go more hand in hand with each other because it's the same guy, you know. But hey, you heard it from the horse's mouth, okay? It's just no hope for Babylon. All right, Babylon's about to come sit in the dust. All right, all the confusion that they done brought upon this place around the world. All right, now it's time that they come sit down in the dust. Is all right, dust. Right. As a matter of fact, let me end it with this precept. All right, reward onto her double, man, for what she has done. Okay, this is Revelations, right? 18, and let's take it from 5. For her sins have reached unto the heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities, her evil deeds, right? Reward her even as she rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she has filled, filled to her double. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, famine, and she shall utterly be burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, who judgeth her. You see, that's what's coming to America. They're not going to know where that came from. When that destruction comes, they're not going to know what hit them. You see, like he said, America is due for the greatest ass whooping ever. And that's what happens in real life. When you're a bully and you bullying people around, it's only a matter of time before your time comes that someone takes over what you were. You see, and it always comes without you knowing when you least expect it. And that's how America's going to get hit, man. They're going to get hit, all right, when they least expect it, okay? Thinking that they got everything, all right, in their hand. The fuck? Hope I ain't fuck this car up. Okay. Right? So, you know, hey, man, we can only just sit back and watch the fall of our enemies, watch the fall of Babylon the Great, all right, that's about to be judged, all right, and 1 hour is the judgment coming for America, you see. 1 hour is the Lord going to do this place dirty in, all right. So I'm going to leave you there through the spirit, you know, Lord willing that you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwath that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith, enduring as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. You just continue to learn in silence, watching the true men of the Lord, and the Bible ball real soon. Shalom. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Barakatah.